Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Truffle Shuffles class with Butcherbox. This is going to be a good one. I know you guys all are stuffed from Thanksgiving, but you're going to love it because you definitely have mashed potatoes sitting in your fridge. I made enough mashed potatoes for 30,000 people this Thanksgiving. So literally I've been eating this every single day since Thanksgiving. So first of all, before we get started, I want to welcome to the stage the amazing Roxy and the amazing Francine, who I think are the best in the world. They're so amazing. They are the people who do the chat support for us and make things work and answer your questions. And they're awesome. I think we should all give them a big round of applause. And I'm Chef Jay. And I am the chef here for Butcherbox and Truffle Shuffle. And I also have a food influencer at Chop Happy, and I cook on TV. And I just love to cook easy recipes for busy people with a dash of gratitude. So we're going to do that today with leftover mashed potato gnocchi. Before we do that, let's start by saying hello to everybody. Please put it into the chat box where you're from, where you're cooking from, and what your favorite leftovers are. Mine are definitely mashed potatoes for sure. Happy Thanksgiving, Susan. It's good to see you, Susan. Where you come from? Happy Thanksgiving. Right there. Oh, Fort Myers. Okay, welcome to McDonald's. Hi, Susan in Fort Myers. I bet you it's a lot warmer there than it is here right now. Anyone else want to tell us where they're from? Definitely put it into the chat box, into there, so that we can say hello to you as well. Don't be shy into there, but if not, it's okay. You can just watch us cook all our fun stuff too. Okay. Oh, from Hollywood. Wow, Sandy. That's amazing. Sandy from Hollywood, Susan from Florida. It's the S's take the cake today, right in there. I'm actually in Chelsea. Oh my God, this can't be real. We have another S. from Orlando, Florida. Sharon from Orlando, Florida. Susan, that's so awesome. Welcome, Sandy, Susan, Sharon. Do we have a Sally? Is there a Sally in the group? Hopefully there's a Sally in the group or a Samantha. I can't think of any more S's. Hello, Butcherbox. Hands up for you. Okay, I am cooking from New York City and Chelsea. And for one last time, this is the size of my actual kitchen. It's small. So we are going to shuffle around the kitchen. But the things that you're going to need for this are really easy. It's not a lot of ingredients. So in the words of France, mise en place. We are going to mise en place means everything in its place. So the first thing for the gnocchi, you just need about 2 cups of mashed potatoes. So it's basically for every cup of mashed potatoes, it's a half a cup of flour. So we have 2 cups of mashed potatoes and a cup of flour ready to go. We're going to have an egg, 1 egg, and this is going to help bind everything together. And then my favorite of all, truffle shuffle salt. This has made me a truffle believer. I use this on my steaks. I actually put this on our turkey for Thanksgiving. I love it. They're having a huge sale on truffle shuffle. Right now, you should go get it. They have also the honeys and the carpaccio, which you could actually put beautifully on the truffle on this as well, too. And then, because it wouldn't be a class with me saying, of the ingredients, we're going to use Butcherbox's lemon pepper ingredients. And one of the first things, actually it's second on this one, the second things is salt. It's black pepper and salt. And usually with these kinds of seasonings, they don't put salt on it. And why that's important is because it brings out the flavor of our ingredients as well, too, into there. So that's all you need for the actual gnocchi. And we're going to make this together. For the sauce, we're going to do something simple. We're going to use butter, sage, and lemon. And your free ingredient right here, your lemon zest, is going to go in there. And then finally, one of my favorite vegetables. Hold on, I'm going to go get it for you. My favorite vegetable is the Butcherbox bacon. Right over there, Butcherbox bacon. It's my favorite vegetable. It grows in the ground. Don't tell me anything different. So what I would love for us to start with is I want you to turn your oven to 400, 425 if it's not a strong oven. I also want you to fill up a pot of water right over there so you have the water going. And I want you to keep your water on low. We used to do classes where we used to do different things where we used to have boiling water. And we used to tell the people in the classes, if you turn your pot and you turn it on to low, just like you're in a restaurant, it's already on its way to getting hot, so it will boil faster. So that's the first thing. So what I'd like you to do is take your Butcherbox bacon, the BB, and you're going to put it in your oven at the 400 degrees. And we're going to let this go first, right? So it's just going to go in our oven, 400 degrees. And I'm going to set my timer because it's thick bacon. So we're going to go for let's say 13 minutes on this. So we're just going to let that sit in the oven. When it beeps, we'll come get it. There's a fun viral thing where you put flour actually on the actual bacon, and it helps it crisp up even better. So we got flour. Don't put tons of it, but just dredge a little flour on the bacon, and it helps to kind of crisp up that bacon for you. But we're going to start with what I like to call leftover madness. So we're going to actually start with our gnocchi. So wrong bowl. This one right here. Gnocchi bowl right here. Get a big bowl out just like that. And then what I'd like you to do is plop into your bowl your mashed potatoes. And it should be like this. It should not be too loose. If it is, you're going to need some more flour into there. This is literally the mashed potatoes I had for Thanksgiving. I actually used, for every pound of potatoes, I used a half a pound of butter. Literally in there. You could smell the butter. It smells sweet in there and right into there. So that's one. Do not use all of the flour yet, okay? Leave the flour to the side. I know it says a cup in the recipe, but I want you to leave the flour alone just for a tiny bit for there, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually take truffle salt. It smells so nutty and amazing. I can't tell you. I think it's like $35 for a case or something like that. And you get buy one, get one free right now. I think that's correct. I literally just bought it today. I might be wrong about that. Don't quote me 100%. But it's amazing. And then one case is one of them is $6. or something like that. This stuff is worth like way more than that. This is the best stuff in the world. So right into there. So you're going to put your salt or your truffle salt right in there with your mash, just like that. And then you're going to take one egg and you're going to throw it in there as your binder. Okay. Right like that. And I know it says on the thing that you have to whip it, but don't worry about that. No whipping necessary. You can actually just go right there when it's in there and just mix it around a little bit. It's going into your mashed potatoes anyway, just like that. There's our egg, just like that. And I like to mix the egg and the mashed potatoes first so it gets fully coated in there. And then what I want to do is next is you're going to take this and we're going to add our lemon pepper seasoning right into there as well too. Voila. Good. This one has not been opened yet. I use this stuff like crazy on my salmon. I actually, even though it's more for like seafood seasonings, I actually use this on pork, on salmon, on chicken. Look how cool that looks right there. Look at those big chunks right in there like this. And so you can see it just like that. And then mix that in. And the purpose of mixing in the seasonings and the eggs first is so this way you don't get clumps of the seasoning in there, okay? So now this is the part. We have a cup of flour. We're probably not going to need all that flour. If you have very clumpy, very fluffy mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, you're probably not going to eat all of it. If you got very like fancy ones where you put it through a mesh fizz and you rice it and you do all the things that like those fancy chefs like Chef Tyler, the founder of Truffle Shuffle does, who is an amazing chef, then you probably need more flour. But I am from Jersey and I mash my stuff instead of ricing it. I have done it the other way. That's the proper way, but Thanksgiving's all about home style. So I'm going to put in only a quarter of it to start. Okay. Maybe a little more than a quarter. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little flour nervous right now. So it looks just like that right there. So just about a quarter of our cup right there, okay? And then we're going to just mix it. And what you're going to notice is how you'll know it's done is, oh, by the way, you can actually put the whole thing in if you wanted to, but the less flour you get, the fluffier it is, your gnocchi. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to notice it's going to stop to look like mashed potatoes and start looking like a dough. And then this has not done that yet. But I smell that lemon pepper from the Butcherbox seasoning and a little bit of nuttiness from the truffle shuffle right there. So we're going to add some more. So I'm going to add another quarter of a thing in here. And remember, if you want to, you could do the whole thing all at once. But I'm going to stay just like that. I'm just going to mix it all together. Don't worry if you get some of the flour on the board. You're going to need it anyway at some point. Just like that. Okay, so see how this starts to look like pie dough now? So instead of looking like mashed potatoes, it looks like all that butter and flour together to make almost like a buttery pie dough. That's how you know it's almost done. But because I'm doing a cooking class, and once they start rolling, I want to make sure you guys are all good. I'm going to put the rest of it in because it's almost there for you, like that. Okay, I'm going to mix it all together. And then what I'm going to do is move all my other stuff out, and I'm going to show you my rolling. Okay, so let's move that over there. I'm so excited. You guys have to be so excited too. You have no idea. Oh, so you're originally from Jersey. Me too. Where in Jersey are you originally from? I'm from by the shore, or the ocean if you're not from Jersey. Okay, right like that. For us as well too. Okay, so next what you're going to do is take the dough that you made, and you're going to get to see this really well. We're going to take the dough that we made, and we're going to put it on a surface with some flour. So I'm going to take my flour right there, just like that. Put some of it on there, just like that. Let me show you. Voila, just like that. And we're just going to, I like to spread it out a little bit. and this is going to help the dough from sticking. Oh, Paramus. I know Paramus. There's a great Portuguese restaurant. I don't know if it's still there in Paramus that I used to go to. It was right off of Route 9. Okay. I'm more like Monmouth County by the shore. So just so you could see, this looks more like dough than it does mashed potatoes now. That's how you know it's ready. And, you know, we're going to add more flour, obviously, too, if we need to. So, and then we're just going to fold this in. And we don't want to mix it too much because then it's not going to be fluffy. But you don't want to leave it as it is. Otherwise, stragglers of mashed potatoes are going to try to go back home to the potato land, and we don't want that either. So we're going to just keep mixing it. And how you'll know it's ready is pieces of potato won't fall off and try to escape. You know, mashed potatoes go to school. They only get one major in mashed potatoing. And when you're learning something new, like when they decide to switch jobs to become gnocchi, they need a little bit of help learning who they are, and they become friends with the rest of the potato, and they're all set to go. So, like that. So, and you basically get a dough just like that. How cool is that? I think this needs a tiny bit more flour to it. So I'm going to just throw a little bit more on there. There you go. Not a lot, but I'm going to let that one go so I don't paint myself with flour later. Good. Okay. Just like that. And literally, we're literally on the way to being done. And by the way, your apartment or house or whatever it is should smell like bacon. It is like, smells like fresh bacon going in the oven. It's salty. It is so going to be crispy and fabulous. And we're going to use the bacon at the end, actually. Right there. Voila. Okay. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, gnocchi. Right there. Okay. So we're going to take this and divide it into 4. This way it makes it easier. Look at that. This is mashed potatoes that dreamed big and knew it could do it. It dreamed big and said, I'm not going to define myself as one person just as the side dish on Thanksgiving. I'm also going to be my own thing, the main event, and it's going to be a gnocchi, which is going to be amazing. So we're going to take it. And then to roll it out, which I actually learned at Truffle Shuffle, we used to do corporate classes. To roll it out, you go from the middle out, and this way it stays nice and even. And I think that Roxy's been in one of these classes before. There was a class where we were making pasta dough. I don't know if Roxy remembers this, but we made pasta dough, and I was teaching an actual corporate class. So here I am, make pasta dough for a million years, and I'm making pasta dough, and boom, my pasta dough was not folding in right, and I ended up having to like cut it real. I'm telling people to look underneath to see how thin it was, and it was not. Something was wrong with the pasta dough, and mine was really thick, so I had to like fake it in the midst of it, even though it was my recipe and all that stuff. Okay, so you got your strings right there. So you're just gonna cut it just like that, and you're gonna get something that looks just like that. How cute is that? Just like that. And I'm just gonna leave it over there, just like that. And then mine is a little wet on purpose, so I'm probably not going to do the fork thing, but it's going to become beautiful gnocchi. All right, I'm going to go like that, just like that. I'm only going to do 1 string of this for us, for the class. But when you're done, make sure you do the rest, okay, of it so that you get all of it. Or you could freeze the dough for about 6 months. They are, just so you know, I literally live in New York City. So my neighbors, I just heard one of my awesome neighbors walking their dog by there, and I think they're probably laughing as they walk because they hear me doing this right now. Okay, so what I like to do, especially because this isn't a typical dough, right? This is going to be a mashed potato dough, so it's a little less like a flour and an egg kind of thing. I want them to stay separated, just like the 90s song, Keep Them Separated. You guys know that song. We're going to actually, I don't know why I always bring this away from me. I do this every time I make this. Put a little bit more right there. Maybe that's a little bit more than a little bit. Okay, right there. Let me just put my bacon. on its way. Okay, and then I like to just go like that and let it rain a little flour. And then I go like this and just mix it through. Mix it through the flour rain. And then I'll take it and put a little dimple in it to catch some of the sauce. So right in there. So I'm going to go like that. Voila. Shala, just like that. And literally, we are done with making our potato gnocchi. This is literally something I do all the time. I purposely make extra mashed potatoes just so you have it. You could do the fork technique too, but to be honest with you, especially with potato gnocchi, you would have to add a lot of flour to it. And then you're going to end up, see how cute that is? You can even see the little bits of the seasoning in there too. Here's another one. And it's literally done. Why don't we go to the sky cam a second so you can see it? I'm going to put this like this. Look at that. Look at all that. That was mashed potatoes originally. How cool is that? My hands have all the flour on it too, but that literally was mashed potatoes originally. OG mashed potatoes. So what I'm going to do next is I think I might let's all turn our water on to high so it starts to boil as we do this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gnocchis and put them on my cutting board. So I have them ready to go for us so I can clean it up. And I think I'm going to roll out one more for us as we wait. So I have really thick bacon here, so I think I'm going to let it go a little bit more. But you should definitely, now's the time to check your bacon for you. So to see if it's done or not. Let's just do one more since we have it out. Just like this. Remember, you're going to go for everyone in the back who didn't see that. Go like this. If you notice, I am not the neatest chef in the world. So I probably have flour in the 4 hairs that I have left. Now 2. Here we go. But it is so fun. And this is a fun thing you can do with your kids as well, too. It's literally, you could buy store-bought mashed potatoes and do it. So that works as well, too. Boston Market, Jollibee has good mashed potatoes. Also, like the supermarket, if there's a Whole Foods near you, Whole Foods has amazing mashed potatoes as well, too. They're nice and thick. Okay, let's do this again. Good, just like that. Good, good. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, National Potato Gnocchi Day, which I don't think we had today, otherwise Roxy would have told me, or Francine, just like that. And then you're going to take it and just put them, let's just go like this and mix it with some flour so it doesn't get all yucky to tucky. Okay, just like that. Just in there like that. And we're going to wait for our water to boil. And when our water boils, this literally takes less than 2 minutes for this to be done. So what you should be doing now is taking your gnocchi, making sure there's a little flour on it, and sticking your thumb in the middle of the gnocchi, just like that, so that you're getting little holes of it right there. And this is going to be for dinner. Mashed potatoes are going to be our dinner. How cool is that? So my favorite holiday actually is Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving, but I second best love Christmas and Hanukkah because both of those revolve around thousands of carbs. And I feel like any holiday that involves a carb is a holiday I want to be part of. So we're gnocchiing that right there. Voila. And just like that there. Voila. And I'm going to have to clean this up. Tom's going to kill me because there's flour literally everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to use my bench scraper for this. Okay. Anyone have any questions so far? So what 2 things should be happening right now? You should have your gnocchis being formed, and you should have your bacon in the oven right now, cooking about 10 to 12 minutes. It should be done. If you have thick cut bacon, it takes a little bit longer. I'm just going to wash my hands, and we're boiling water. And literally, like all the recipes we've ever done on this channel, we're almost done. Literally easy recipes. How cool is that? So basically, our bacon's cooking, getting nice and crispy. My flour is getting nice and floury so that it could join in the fun. If you could see what my flour looks right now. And our gnocchi our gnocchiing right there. So basically, we're just waiting for the rest. So here's the rest of our dough. This dough, I'm going to wrap in saran wrap, and then I'm going to leave it in the freezer. You can leave it for up to 6 months into that freezer too. So let's see. You should be inviting me to dinner. Kimberly Kelly, yes, I will. But where you live, Kimberly Kelly? Do you live in New York area? Because the bacon's happening, the flour's on the floor, the water's bubbling, and the Diet Coke is ready to go. All right, so let's check out our bacon. Almost there. So the point of the bacon is the bacon's got a nice salty component to it. So the Butcherbox bacon is really cool. If you notice, there's no antibiotics in it. It's all natural. It's porky, fabulous, and sweet. So going along with our gnocchi, which is right there. Can you believe this used to be mashed potato? This was on your Thanksgiving table on Thursday, and now it's going to be a bowl of butter. A bowl of butter. So we're boiling our water, which is almost boiled. So what you want to do is put tons. Oh, Calgary. All right, Kimberly. Well, I'll trade you gnocchi for a Canadian citizenship. How's that sound? I still want to be here too in New York, but I'll take both. So how's that sound? If you make me poutine, I'll make you gnocchi for there. So Kimberly, are you cooking along with us as well too? Can you show how to share them again? Samantha, what do you mean by share them again? Shape them again. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can show you how to shape them again. So you take your, you just want me to get more flour on my thing. So you take one of your balls of it, and then you just put your hands like this in the middle. And then you just go like that. Perfect trade. Okay, great. All right, just like that. And you roll it out. And if you go from the middle and you roll out, you will get this nice, even shape of it. There's a little chunk of potato in there. Nice, even shape of it. And then to cut it, you literally, and this is not fully even, but I'll go like this. Here we go. Like that. And then you just cut it like that into inch pieces. And then it looks just like this. And then you just stick your thumb in it like that. And that's just going to catch some of the sauce. You can also roll it if you wanted to as well. You can roll it into on a fork, or if you're fancy and you have one of those gnocchi boards where that gives those beautiful ridges. And you just cut about an inch. Just about an inch. I probably should use the cutting board. This was much easier. Thank you for asking that question. That was an awesome question, by the way. I'm happy to shape gnocchi because when we're done, I'm doing this anyway, just like that. How did that go for you? Did I answer that question well for you, Samantha? And then the last thing is about that is you take it and you stick your thumb right in the middle, just like that, and you get a little bit of a area for your actual gnocchi to be. Oh, thank you. I'm grateful that you're on this class. Hopefully that helps. You could do this with sweet potato as well if you wanted to, or Japanese potato. I just bought a purple potato at the supermarket today. I'm so excited to use it. I'm just going to roast it with some miso butter at the end. That's for me personally. I'm going to eat it at lunch tomorrow. But and then I just put a little flour, Samantha, on it, just so, because it is a wetter dough than normal gnocchi dough. I always put a little flour on there because I really want it to not stick. So I do that, and I flour it a little bit. Our water is boiling, so why don't we go to the actual other side cam and looking at our bacon over there. Okay, so our water is starting to boil. The best time to salt your water is when you have the water already starting to boil. Otherwise, the salt will go to the bottom of the pan. So you want to salt the water in the beginning, right? And I'm desperately searching for my salt, so we're going to use the truffle shuffle salt instead, which I cannot find either. Okay, so you salt all this before. I salted it already, originally, OG for you. And what you're going to do is we're going to drop these in. It literally only takes 2 minutes. My suggestion is that you get one of these if you have it. If not, get a spoon. We're going to put it into a bowl. So what you need for this is the boiling water, an extra bowl, and if you have a slotted spoon or one of these, that would be great. Because when it's done, we're going to leave it there. And all we have to do last is make the actual sauce that goes along with this. Here's my salt. So here we go. So you want to heavily salt this, just like that. And it's already starting to boil, so that's why I'm doing this now. And then once you start to get to a strong enough boil, you're going to actually put this into there. And then what I would do if I wasn't doing this as a class, I would do my little hole right there as I threw it in. Just make sure you're not messing with yourself. And I actually take this and I put a bunch of them. This is the other reason I like to flour them. A bunch of them in there so they don't stick. I could see a piece of lemon pepper from the seasoning from the Butcherbox. I actually really love this lemon pepper seasoning. It actually tastes really good. And this way you don't splash yourself. Or if you're a chef and you've burnt yourself a million times, you could just do it this way as well too. So then I'm just going to go like that into there. Voila. And then the rest of these are going to go in there as well. And then we're going to go like that. Voila. Into there. And in there as well. And in there, they're going to the school. All right, mashed potatoes are going to school. All right, just like that. And just like that. So for you, I would be really careful. I would make sure you drop them in nice and slowly. Use your slotted spoon for this as well. And I'm going to show you again. I'll do it like this so that it looks nice and kosher right there. Voila. So this way it goes like that. And we're going to throw the last bits of them in there. And then I want to show you something else that I like to do to make sure, this is why I'm going fast, so make sure it doesn't stick. I take my spoon or something, and I do a little swirl like that. This way the gnocchi won't stick to the bottom, almost kind of like a whirlpool. And then you just watch, and as soon as the gnocchi tell you when it's done, because it's going to float to the top. So I'm going to wash my hands why that happens, but it's going to float to the top, and you're going to have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gnocchi. And then when that's done, you could do so many things with it. You actually could take it just like that and freeze it, and you can have it. Did you put cream in your mashed potatoes? So, Susan, my mashed potatoes actually are, for every pound of potatoes, I put a half a pound of butter. And then I have a secret. I do this for Thanksgiving, and everyone always is like, why are your mashed potatoes so good? And they think it's some kind of like fancy trick since I cook for a living. But I actually buy onion dip, already cooked. They're already made onion dip. And I use that instead of sour cream and salt and pepper. I actually use the truffle salt. I really like it. And I actually used a little bit of the lemon pepper in the mashed potatoes too, because I knew we were going to use it. But my secret is store-bought onion dip, the kind you put your potato chips in. And I use that instead of sour cream, and it gives this amazing flavor to it. So I don't actually put cream, but if you wanted to, it's for every pound of potatoes, a half pound of butter and a quarter of a cup of cream. So that's how you do the ratio for mashed potatoes. But for me, I just use onion dip. Onion dip and butter. That's all you need in life. Onion dip, butter, and bacon. So once you start to see it go to the top, you're going to wait about 2 minutes. But literally, look how pretty they look. Don't they look like little nestles of potato love just swimming in the top like it's a summer's day, and they're just chilling, dreaming of Thanksgiving in November, right in there. Literally, look how easy that was. You just literally made gnocchi out of leftovers. My mom was a teacher in New Jersey, and my dad worked and my mom worked. There's our beautiful bacon. It's cheering for us, by the way, guys. I'm going to stop talking for 1 second because it's cheering to tell you how awesome you are. Yeah, it's cheering. So I'm going to put our bacon to the side over here. Voila, just like that. So when my mom was a teacher my whole life, and my dad worked as an accountant, so they didn't really have much time or money to cook. So my mom would take one chicken and make 1,000 things out of it. So this would be right up Pam Goldstein's alley to make gnocchi out of mashed potatoes. And it's a really good budget meal. And then you fancify it by using your truffle shuffle and stuff. And it's pillows of perfection. Kimberly, onion dip sounds so good, right? I'm not gonna say the brand of the onion dip of it, but if you look at Chop Happy, you'll see as well too. Susan, you could be part of this class today. Pillows of perfection. I love it. So in December, I'm going to be on a TV show that I talk about a lot, and we're going to be doing some leftovers for Christmas too. So you should follow me on Chat Happy to see. It's a national television show, and I'm going to do some fun things with stuffings and mashed potatoes and all kinds of things as well. Okay, there we are. Look at how much that puffed up, just like that. Tell me that is not insanely awesome. It was a little messy in the kitchen, but in the end, fabulous. So I'm going to put it in here. Voila. Let's get the rest. And see, this was just from literally 2 cups of mashed potatoes. And actually, we actually didn't even use the whole thing right there. And this is why I did a little extra flour, because I usually test it first and throw a couple gnocchis in and see if I need to put more flour in there. But in this case, just like that. I'm going to show you this in a second. I'm going to shut this off because we're going to do the rest of it left in a second. But look at that. That literally is from mashed potatoes. How cool is that right there? How cool is that? Pillows of perfection, of carb happy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move my water over here because we're almost done. We're going to make the easiest sauce ever that we've ever used in our lives. So the next thing we need is, oh, well, there we go. Don't let that drop. A pan like this, just like that right there. Oh, Oakland, California. Hello from Oakland, California. That's amazing. When the gnocchi comes out of the pot, should I add them? So, okay. So, but when the gnocchi comes out of the pot, I don't know if they're still sponsoring us, but I really love Graza olive oil. They're the best. I actually use them on my own life. They have sizzle. They have drizzle. You can use drizzle, but I actually used all the drizzle up. So we're using sizzle. So what I do is take a little olive oil and I mix it just like that. And it just stays nice and good for you, just like that. So I don't know anything. I don't know, but I have to tell you, this is my oil of choice. Grazie, because this is so good. And sizzle is what you use to cook. Drizzle is what you use to like make like a beautiful tomato salad. It's fabulous. I always made Sicilian. Oh yeah, mashed cod and potatoes. Actually, this is where I got this recipe from. Half my family is Italian Catholic. My brother-in-law and my niece and nephews are half and half. So that's actually literally where I got this recipe from. So that's awesome. You're just leaving the cod out of it. But perfect. And actually cod, original meatballs, actually, not even gnocchi, was a fish meatball back in the day because meat was too expensive when they were invented. So they actually used fish. Our modern day meatball has beef, but they used fish in their meatballs as well too. So I'm going to take these right here. I just got to show you. Let's just let it shine a little bit. That was mashed potatoes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Ooh. That was my counter. That was mashed potatoes. That is now a pasta. It's now a pasta. Okay, so let's move on to the next part of this right here. So this is the finale, the grand finale. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take our thing right here. We're going to turn this back on, and I'm going to turn it to a medium low. 6 tablespoons of butter. I have a trick for you for this. We're going to do a little bit of brown butter, right? But I like to take the butter whole and drop it in there, just like that. So you take the butter and you drop it in there whole. This way, you get, you can mix it slowly and it doesn't burn. So when you're doing brown butter, you actually want to mix it around the whole time. What you see of those bubbles is we're separating the milk solids from the water of it. And we want all the water to evaporate from the butter so that it can brown. And if you don't keep moving it around, you're actually going to end up burning it. So you really want to use either a bottom pot that's more clear, or to just be safe, you just keep scraping the bottom of the pot, just like that, and you're going to get a beautiful brown. So that bubble is the water separating from the actual butter. I use 6 tablespoons of butter in this, just like that. And I know that the recipe also talks about doing doing some lemon and some other stuff in here too, but don't do that yet. Let's start with the actual butter first, right in there. And as soon as you get all those bubbles disappear, you're going to actually end up with like a brown nuttiness that's going to smell so good. So we have our gnocchi chilling out with a little bit of graza olive oil right now so it doesn't stick. We have almost a whole stick of butter, 6 tablespoons of butter going into our pot at a medium heat. I just raised it up a little bit. It was medium-low before, but now medium heat. And you're going to start to see it turn kind of brown and nutty. And you want to keep scraping it. And when it gets really close to that, I'm going to drop in our sage. It bubbles up a little bit, so be careful. We're going to drop in our sage and fry it. And I'm going to lower this a little bit so it doesn't burn. And fry our sage right into there. Good. Oh, it smells so good in here. That sage and that nutty butter all together like that. And you're supposed to take the sage out, but I don't usually. I actually leave the sage in. I actually like it to break on its own. Then you take your gnocchi and you mix it in just like that. This is worth having flour on the floor, by the way. 1,000%. Just like that. Look at that. And then gnocchi gets this beautiful bronze color just into there. And now I'm going to shut off the heat altogether. And I'm going to grate a little bit of lemon zest. I always call this my free ingredient because it has much more lemony flavor than the actual lemon juice in there. Although we're going to use some lemon juice in there as well too. Right, like that. And make sure you only get the yellow, not the white part into there. And the reason why I do the lemon last with the heat off is because lemon can get kind of bitter if it's heated too much. It's supposed to just act as a brightening flavor to it. And then I'm going to take some of the juice in there as well too. Our class is almost over. How cool is that? We're almost done. I'm going to take my lemon, and so that I don't get any seeds in it, I squeeze it cut side up. Right in there. And in honor of how this all started, and just so you guys know, today is actually my last class for a while. So I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who's been following all my classes together. I'm super grateful for you and super grateful that I've gotten to cook with you guys and be part of this. Butcherbox and Truffle Shuffle are such amazing people. I have a lot of jobs, and this is the one I am the most sad about because I really, really, really love working with you guys, and cooking these classes have been so much fun, honestly. So I'm going to put some truffle salt in honor of Truffle Shuffle. The Truffle Shuffle, the brand that made me love truffles. I can't get the label on there without spilling the whole thing in, so let me do it like this. Just like that. Butcherbox is amazing too. Right there. Let's do it like this. Voila. Just like that. Good. Just like that. So now, if you go back to there, can you even add some black pepper into there too? I'm leaving the black pepper out of this one, but just like that. And I'm just going to clean up so you can see the whole thing together, because we need to take some of our Butcherbox bacon. This bacon is literally the best bacon. I'm telling you, I have some of it in my freezer still from old recipes as well too, and I love it. Okay, our bacon, and we're going to cut this up to small pieces, just like this. Thank you, people. Everyone should give another shout out to Roxy and to Francine. I've worked with so many people on cooking classes, and they are the best, literally the best. I have such joy. My husband's always in the back, and he's always like, you always seem happy on a Sunday night. As soon as they get on the thing, you're not complaining you're tired anymore, because they always bring smiles and things like that too. So you can follow me at Chop Happy as well too. I'll still be doing cooking classes, and still be on TV, and I'll still hopefully at some point be working back here again. So there you go. Voila. All right. Butcherbox is going nowhere, and I'm a huge fan of all their products and everything. The bacon goes in there. Look how pretty that is. That it deserves an Academy Award of pasta happy. I think that you guys all should make this for your family and friends. They're going to be like, holy crap, look at this. So I have lots of bacon in the back that is going to go along with my meal. And let me just get something to scoop this up so you can see it. Okay, here's my slotted spoon. Right, like that. Here we go. Voila. We'll try to find a sage. There's a sage. No sage for me. Gnocchi Tina. The truth is I love pasta. There you go. Let's get some Butcherbox bacon in there because Butcherbox is amazing. Bacon. It's one of my favorites, actually. Butcherbox actually is amazing. If you didn't know, they also have really amazing scallops. They're called dry scallops. And if you guys get those in your next package of stuff, you should look because dry scallops doesn't mean that they're dry. What it actually means is that they don't have chemicals. So it has a shorter lifespan, but they freeze it so you don't have to worry about that. And it just tastes better. And then you obviously are going to also add some Parm cheese to that as well. I don't always eat my cooking classes, but this one especially. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to blow out the candles. Try not to burn my mouth. You guys can't see Roxy and Francine, but they're laughing at me because I was burned myself. Oh. You taste the butter from those mashed potatoes and the Thanksgiving happiness, but it tastes like a pasta. So if you didn't tell anyone, they would have no idea that this used to be a mashed potato. The brown butter adds such nuttiness, and then that sweet bacon is a kiss of love, of foodie happiness in there. So Kimberly, I have leftover potatoes and I was wanting to make gnocchi, so this is perfect. So I would actually, for sweet potato gnocchi, I would actually do the brown butter and what we just did today. You can go on Truffle Shuffle Butcherbox to see the recipe for this, or just marinara would go good. And I would add a little bit of Calabrian chili paste to it, or red pepper flakes. You get the sweet and spicy to it as well. Or it would go really good next to your Butcherbox steaks and your Truffle Shuffle salt. Look how beautiful that is. It's as beautiful as you guys are. I am so, so grateful. And for the last time for a while, thank you, Francine. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Truffle Shuffle. Thank you, Butcherbox. I am so, 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 so grateful. And I always leave you with the fun thing. I hope that your week and the rest of your year is as magical as mashed potatoes turning into gnocchi, with pasta love hugs all throughout, and that the rest of your 2025 is amazing. I am so, so, so grateful. May you Truffle Shuffle and Butcherbox your way to a happy new year. I will see you at Chop Happy, and I will see you in the future again, hopefully back at Butcherbox. And thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Francine. And a special thank you to Chef Tyler and Chef Jason for hiring me. And it's just goodbye for a little bit. I'm going to take a little stir break and cook and sizzle some new things. And thank you. And happy holidays. Thank you. You guys rock. I appreciate all of you guys. Cheers. Mm.